Greetings pilots and welcome to The Breach. Today we're returning to X4 Foundations 7.0 and my Terran playthrough. The main reason behind the Terran playthrough is because I'd noticed that Egosoft had nerfed the drop rate for destroying ships. Basically there's going to be no scavenging of flux capacitors and programmable field arrays. In the background you can see me joining the Antigone Trade Guild. It's not going to be super relevant to today's episode. I was in the area and it was an item I could knock off my to-do list. Mission running for profits will be covered in a subsequent episode. I previously made a video about the free ships you can find in the base game, where they're located and an approximate value for each ship. I'll put a link to the video in the comments section. You can always watch it after you've watched this one, eh? Why is that video relevant? Which is a good and valid question, and I am glad you asked. I didn't actually sell the destroyer. In my humble opinion, it's worth keeping. I believe it can significantly increase your income, and as with my previous episodes, I'm going to do a little scientific test. Before we get down to the test, I have one little errand to run. I've been informed that I missed a free ship from one of the missions, so if you'll bear with me, I'll go and collect that first. So I'm in the sector Getsufune, and here is the Gladius that was left behind by my wingman, Velvet Thunder. So, enough of the preamble, let's get into this. We're going to use the Odysseus Vanguard to quickly destroy the Xenon ships in Hatikvah's Choice. We'll easily be able to take out the frigates and the fighters that come through the gate. This is an entry-level build, so you will have to flee from anything bigger than a frigate. Most of the income will come from earning bounties. They will gain a significant boost for picking up flux capacitors and programmable field arrays. Another income source will be the ammunition we pick up as well, but this is rather minor. Although it doesn't have a direct monetary value, we'll also pick up crafting wares so we can build improvements for our ships. I will show you my loadout for the Odysseus Vanguard in a minute. For each experiment I'm going to sit in Hatikvah's Choice for 1 hour next to the gate. I will be actively flying the ship to maximise my profits. After 1 hour I will leave the area and sell everything and work out how much profit I made within that hour. Then, due to my personal schedule, I came back a few days later and ran the experiment again. In the second hour of the experiment, the Xenon got really feisty. But as we all know, RNG giveth and taketh. I will be showing you a beginner setup.
Gladius.
This is Thunderchild, my Odysseus Vanguard. I've spent a lot of money that I've earned so far during this playthrough on upgrading this ship. So let me quickly show you what we're working with. I spent the 6.5 million to get the all-round Mark III thrusters to help me evade other destroyers. All shields have been upgraded to best in slot and of the Argon variety. Terran shields are a bit too expensive for me at the moment. No fixed weapons, I don't have the Paranid standing. I've fitted the large slots with pulse turrets. I don't have the standing for plasma yet. Eventually, when I've gained enough standing with the Paranid, I'll have plasma turrets in here. But for now, the pulse will do well enough to tackle the corvettes and the fighters. It is the medium slots that are going to do most of the work. These flak turrets will rip through fighters and corvettes. Argon make the best flak turrets as well, so they're best in slot. All software is fully upgraded. I have a few defence drones and a few repair drones just in case. I'd hired 35 service crew. After 1 hour, 29 of them had upgraded to able crewmen. Because I'm keeping this ship, it's definitely worth upgrading it with some modifications. None of these modifications were re-rolled, just what I got on the first attempt. These crafting wares were most likely picked up when I was scavenging in Second Contact. Thunderchild got a polisher mod to improve my movement. A polisher mod can reduce the drag by a maximum 16.7% and at a lower end 4.7%. And I got lucky, I got 12.7%. So I do have future possibilities of a re-roll. The large turrets did not receive an upgrade because they'll eventually be replaced by plasma. All of the medium flak turrets got a slasher mod. This increases the weapon damage but reduces the cooldown of the weapon, but it doesn't matter because turrets don't have cooldown. The third modification is the reload speed. This can be very variable, either increasing or decreasing the speed. These all just got one roll and I had to take it because I didn't have enough Nividium to make any more rolls. But this should change after I've killed a few Xenon. Another way to get the materials to craft is to run missions, but we'll be doing that in a future episode as I've already mentioned. Once I've purchased Terran shields, then they'll get a modification. The main engine will get an upgrade once I've purchased Split. Here we are arriving at Hatikvah's Choice at the gate bordering the Xenon sectors. As you can see from the radar, there's a lot of loot lying around. As I'm just here to make money, I'm going to scoop them up. As the container magnet is related to the size of your ship, I can pull in these containers from a fair distance. When you clicked on this video, you saw that it wasn't 2+ hours long, so obviously I'm going to do my usual trick and edit it down. I'll show some highlights from the first hour and then do a breakdown of earnings. Then I'll do a breakdown of the second hour while the Xenon got really feisty with me. Then I'll do another breakdown of my earnings. And then right at the end, after I've done the conclusion from the earnings call, I will show you how to do some slight improvements to this setup. That is rather important, changing all your turrets to attack all enemies. I'm hoping that my long-range pulse turrets will take pot shots at the enemy and aggro them, and therefore pulling them into range of my flak turrets. Here is Thunderchild defending herself from multiple Xenon attackers. The large turrets fire a blue bolt, and the medium flak turrets are firing an orange bolt. The large pulse turrets have longer range than the flak turrets and can be useful for gaining aggro from the Xenon. Unfortunately, these large turrets aren't powerful enough to do any significant damage to a Xenon K or any other destroyer. Ideally, you do not want to get too close to the gate. If you do get too close, you'll find that destroying the Xenon will not give you any bounty. As you can see, the shields are holding up perfectly well against fighters and corvettes. You only have to be worried about Xenon destroyers. Because of this, it gives you the opportunity to manage or review your empire. Here I am picking up missiles, some Navidium oxide and a few bits and pieces for crafting. The Hatikvah Free League is paying me 20,000 credits bounty for killing 2 ships. I went about shooting and looting for 1 hour, collecting the loot that I'd earned by shooting ships and also from the NPC shot ships. It was a fairly relaxed hour with the frigates and corvettes barely able to scratch my shields. Let's see how much I earned for the first hour. For the big ticket items, I managed to acquire 5 flux capacitors worth about 756,000 credits. I collected 3 programmable field arrays for 470,000 credits. The missile loot was worth 94,000 credits. The bounty payout for the first hour was 150,000 credits, giving me a grand total of 1,470,000. This is a nice chunk of change. It appears to be the best earnings per hour that we've got so far, but we'll better test it some more and we'll go and do the second hour. As I said at the beginning, the second hour of the experiment was recorded a few days later. My plan was exactly the same, though, to actively make money, but this second hour was a lot different from my first. But enough of me rambling, let me show you some highlights. I'm a few minutes into the test and it's been really quiet so far. Almost too quiet. That is a Xenon K appearing off my starboard beam at point blank range, and I'm about to take fire from its graviton turrets. As the Admiral said, we can't repel firepower of that magnitude, even though I'm a destroyer, not a cruiser. Time to move to a safer distance. As I've mentioned, this is an entry-level build to the destroyer. I have no main battery weapons, and my large turrets have only got pulse weapons in them. At the moment, this Xenon K completely outclasses me. once this destroyer is fully upgraded, I would be able to take out a Xenon K one-on-one, but today isn't that day. The Xenon destroyer is going to put a real crimp in me earning some money. I know I can't take out a Xenon K solo, but maybe I should assist others trying to take it out. As you can see, my pulse turrets are barely scratching it. The flak turrets do even less damage. Nothing I seem to be able to do makes any effect on the Xenon K. I'm going to have to let somebody else deal with it. I maybe don't have enough firepower to deal with the Xenon K, but that defence platform certainly does. The defence platform and the Xenon K are squaring off against each other. Thankfully the defence platform has got a lot more plasma turrets than the Xenon K has graviton turrets. Yes, it's very satisfying watching the Xenon K blow up. look, I picked up a flux capacitor. Well, that Xenon K managed to sneak up on me.
I have come to the edge of my research.
All damaged.
Thanks for your help.
All critical.
Well, I've taken a massive amount of damage from that Xenon K. It's definitely time for a Sir Robin manoeuvre. My shields will heal quite quickly, but more importantly my hull will be repaired as well.
I think you might regret that.
There's another Xenon K in the distance. Nice.
You've had it now.
In the second hour of trying to make money, 5 Xenon Ks came through that gate, and unfortunately at no time did a Terran or Argon patrol turn up. But that is why I do these experiments for a second hour. It helps to even out that RNG.
We cannot tolerate your actions.
Prepare to be wiped out. Not bad for a machine, I suppose. That was a bad move. Try again.
Thanks for your help.
Although the defence platform is managing to take out the Xenon K, it's taking a hell of a pounding. Well, that's another Xenon K jumping in. After 1 hour and 5 Xenon Ks, the defence platform sadly dies. The Xenon have a toehold in this sector as well. They've started to build their own defence platform. Well, that's going to be a future me problem. Let's find out how much I've made this hour. For the second hour tally, we managed to get 1 flux capacitor, giving us 151,000 credits. 4 programmable field arrays, giving us 631,000 credits. Missiles give us 94,000 credits again. And our bounty this time was 190,000 credits, giving us a grand total of just over 1,066,000 credits. The difference between the first and the second hour was just around 400,000 credits. The first hour was more profitable, but the second hour was probably more enjoyable. It would have been even more enjoyable if I'd got a fully upgraded destroyer as well. The Odysseus Vanguard is a large class ship. If you dock a medium class ship to it, it stays on the landing pod. Even though the medium ship is docked, it will still use its turrets if they're set to attack all enemies. This will increase your firepower against corvettes and fighters, but it wouldn't have helped me deal with the Xenon K in the second hour. Another benefit of having a frigate docked with you is you can transfer the missiles over to the frigate. You can even send the frigate away to sell the missiles. This can be really useful if you're spending a long time in Hatikvah's Choice building up or maintaining an empire. While you have the ships in this configuration, it's also worth remembering that if you dock a fighter to the corvette, you'll unlock an achievement called Piggyback. At the moment, I have about 17 million credits in the bank. So in the next episode, I'm going to show you where I invest that cash. So I'll be building some stations and buying some ships. Hopefully you'll join me for that, but thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.
Highway, second contact, 2 Flashpoint.